I've been making some bits for someone's Pultra T-bolt there. He wanted 2 of those, so I made him 2 of those, and he wanted 4 T-nuts as well, so I made him those, but I've left it so he can drill and tap his own holes. But he also wanted a tip over tool rest. I had half of one, so I thought, that's right, I'll make a base for it. So I made a base, for it, and went to put it together, and there must have been a fracture on one of the legs, because put it together and this broke off. It's a bit annoying, so I'm now going to have to make this bit, but I'm waiting for a bit of steel to come in for that. But I also need to make 2 bolts to clamp this up. That sits in the top there, like so, and you have a clamp to tighten this up, but it hadn't got any, so I'm having to make one for it. I'm going to make 2 while I'm at it, because I've got another one there. I've got another tip over rest, but this is for a 1770, slightly taller. If you have a look at this, the bit there is quite long, so I want to keep that in case I do get a 1770 at any time that hasn't got one on it, although I have made them in the past. I want to keep that one just in case. But I'm going to show you making this bit, and that's about all I'm going to show you really. I'm going to make the main part on the Pultra, no, on the Myford, and then finish it off on the Pultra. So I'll bring you back when we're set up on the Myford lathe. I've already partially made one. I turned it down and threaded it on here on the Myford, and I'll do the rest of it on the little Pultra, but I thought there's no point in showing you turning both down, because well, it's no help to anybody, is it? So I've got to start off by facing this off. I should have done that a bit better because I had it too far away. Let's do that again. Not cutting anything off, it's just make sure the little pit's gone in the middle, so they're too far away. So we'll zero that. Now what did I do last time? I can't remember. My mind's gone blank. And then I've got to do a short length of 4.1mm to take a 3BA thread. Right, we'll just check that, make sure it goes into the first half of it. Yeah. That should give me the size for tapping it. We'll just check that, make sure. You know. Oh, right way around so I could see. Close enough. So we'll just put a slight taper on it. Camera's in the way, I can't. Right. And then we'll put 3BA thread on it, but I'm not going to show you that because it's not really worth watching, is it? I'll bring you back when I'm on the little Pultra. Okay, we're set up in the Pultra, so the first job is to face the end off. A little bit high there. A little bit too far away. Right, now we're just going to put a slight dome on the end so it looks pleasing and not got any sharp edges. That centre doesn't look very good there to me. Perhaps it is. So we'll just finish it off with a bit of emery. A bit of fine stuff as well. And I'm going to change the collet to a number 5. I think it's 5. Just so I can clean the rest of it up, because where I've drilled the hole is a little bit sharp. Better, nice and smooth. The next job is to make the little handle go in there. I'll bring you back in a minute when we're set up to do that. Okay, so I've got a bit of 4mm in there, so I've got to turn it down to 2.5. That's a bit better, I can see now. Camera's not in the way. Should be able to see what's going on. I've got to turn it down a bit at a time because I don't want too much stuck out in one go. Right, we'll see if that'll go in. Perfect. And then we need to have a bit more out. Do the same again. Have a look, see what that looks like. Yeah, just a little bit too big. Not a lot. Try again. Nearly. Bit more speed, I think. Better. That last little bit. Check, make sure that's right. Needs to slide on there quite smoothly, so it moves up and down. Put on that just a fraction further in. when it gets this much stuck out, you've got to be very careful what you're doing. Right, so that goes all the way up there. So we're just neaten that edge up a little bit. Now we just run the sandpaper over it. Right, now we've got to put a thread on the end of there, and then we just turn the other end down to a ball and then make a ball to go on the threaded bit. That's what we're doing. But, I don't suppose you want to watch all that, but when I come to doing the ball, I'll bring you back then. Okay, so I put a thread on the other end and put it in another collet, and then we just got to turn this end down to get a ball. Well, as near as we can get to a ball, I suppose. I cut a bit off that because I think it was a bit too long. So I'm just going to make it into a ball now. It's not going to be a total ball, it's sort of going to be a rugby ball shape, maybe oblong. But just so it's easier to grip, that's all. I think that'll do nicely. Just clean it up a bit. Now all I've got to do is make a bit for the other end, a little bit, the same that screws on the other end, and that's it. I should screw into there. And you can just lock it up. That's what we've got to do now. I'll find a bit of 4mm and do a bit on the other end, put a thread in it. And I'll bring you back when we're set up for that. Okay, I've already threaded in there. I haven't got a bit of 4mm, so I've got to turn this down. It's a bit of a pain, but never mind. I'm not going to measure it, I'm just going to do it by eye. Not far away at that. Now we're going to part it off partially, but not totally. close. Nearly there.
Are you having mashed potato tonight? What?
Hard it off a little bit more. Neaten that end up a little bit. There we want a narrower parting blade. That's the narrowest one I got, I think. Yeah. A little bit more modifying. Bit of a fiddly job to do, but worth it in the end. The very last little nib I'll cut off with a saw, but because otherwise it will disappear and the gremlins will have it and I will never see it again. So I just saw that bit off and I'll bring it back in a minute. There we are. All I've got to do now is just spin this round on the sander just to get rid of that last little bit. And that's it finished. There we are, there's the finished article. I know a lot of them had this bit in there, but they just had a hole in there and you put something in there to tighten it up, but I think this is a lot nicer job, because you can't lose that bit. And that goes in like so, and it's wide enough so it just passes that bit there. You see it's just wide enough to not get caught on anything, and then it just lock the tool rest up. Thank you.